Get ready for another episode of Live Speak. With Justin the Geek. Justin the Geek. Justin the Geek. Justin the Geek.
Justin the Geek.
What you're about to hear. Live Speak. Justin the Geek. Breaking news.
Live Speak.
Interesting guests.
Justin the Geek.
Your calls and texts. Live Speak. Tips and news you can use. Warning. 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 This program is highly addictive and habit-forming. Side effects include happiness, knowledge, memory improvement, and retention, increased attention span, loss of disabilities, and more. Consult your doctor before listening to this program. Now, enjoy the show responsibly.
Welcome, everybody, to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. I hope everyone's week is fantastic. I know somebody else whose week has probably been fantastic. Alan Quant from thedigitalcraft.com. How you doing, Alan?
Marvelous.
Oh, you tricked me up with the marvelous. I thought you were going with fantastic. No, that's too bad. Got a really exciting show for everybody today. We have a guest on here later, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. I wanted to start out by telling everybody and talking about podcasts. I mean, what podcasts were and what they are today. By definition, we are doing a podcast right now, and it's a multimedia digital file made available on the internet for downloading to something like your media player or iPhone or anything portable, computer. That's what a podcast used to be. Now that we're using Spreaker, it's a different sort of podcast. It's actually broadcasting and podcasting. So you have the ability to broadcast and podcast. It's a service that enables both amateurs and professionals to create audio programs from their desktop, their iPhone, or their Android device. Spreaker targets podcasters and bloggers both by offering a professional publishing platform, which allows us to instantly connect with our followers via either Facebook, Twitter, RSS feeds if you use those, or even iTunes. I don't use iTunes yet, but I'm working on that. Spreaker came out with this. It's called freemium. It's a freemium model. And what it is you can sign up with Spreaker and you can create unlimited 30-minute programs for free. Or you can sign up to do longer programs for a small fee. I started out with the 30-minute shows, the free ones, after Alan did. Alan started, I don't know when you did, probably in October, November. Would you think?
Most likely.
I looked the other day, and my show was like December, early December was my first show. And it was
I started a couple months before that.
And so Alan did his, and you instantly went right to the on-air talent, didn't you? Or you paid monthly for yours?
Yeah, I did the monthly fee.
Yeah. So you were able to do 3-hour shows from the start.
Right.
And I just wanted to try it out and start doing 30-minute shows. And it was really just me talking about nothing. I mean, but it was my...
What has changed?
What has changed? Pretty much nothing, right? Still talking about nothing. I guess I added you to the show. Now we both talk about nothing.
I'm not your Andy Richter, am I?
Yeah, you are. Sit on the couch. No, it's, I mean, a lot for me has changed because it's just being able to sit and talk and kind of live I'll call it my dream, if you will. I've always wanted to be on the radio. I've wanted to have a personality on the radio. I always found it amazing. And now I kind of get to do that. So, and that's what Spreaker has done for me. And it's different in the fact that it gives us the ability to broadcast live. That's the biggest thing between podcasts and Spreaker's broadcast ability is podcasts used to just be, I'll record audio and I'll put it up on a website and you can download it. That's pretty much all podcasts were. You just download them to your iPad, iPhone, whatever. But with Spreaker, like I'm doing now, we go live. And that's awesome. I think that's what has made Spreaker better than most podcasting.
It's very user friendly too. I tried a bunch of other ones about a year or so ago. I admit I probably didn't have the same drive to do the show. I was just more curious back then. But I found their interfaces. I can't think of any of the companies off the top of my head, but I found them really hard to navigate and understand. And Spreaker was one that just totally made sense. It was easy, straightforward, and no real learning curve there.
Yeah, I mean it's always been pretty steady and stable for me. I haven't really had too many issues with it that I can remember. I've seen, the support forums, and some people have problems with it. I haven't had an issue with it yet.
No, and in their defense, it's usually something that Adobe's doing with Flash that seems to trip anything up for us.
Yeah, that would be one thing. Or it's just people that have a computer from like 1995 and they're trying to run a full broadcast and they can't.
Right.
You have to also have good equipment to do good broadcasts. So,
right.
But Spreaker has done really well. And of course they've, I don't know, I think it was 2010 really when it was beginning, and now they're doing really well. And I know there's 40,000 plus likes on Facebook. I don't know how many people offhand are users and subscribers to Spreaker, but I know it's a lot per month. From when it first started, I watched a video the other day, and it had a real small amount of people that had started using Spreaker. And compared to today, I know there's a lot of people that use it. But like I said, Spreaker is broadcast and podcast platform. That's what we use here. Now everybody knows. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today on the show is Spreaker and how it got started, how the idea came to be, and how it became successful. So let's run to a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about a little bit of tech news. We'll be right back on Live Speak with Justin the Geek.
Do you like the sound of my commercials? Do you want a commercial? Do you want to play it on your show? Then head over to Mike Wagner at Fiverr.com. Get yours produced now. www.fiverr.com/mwagner. Get fast, friendly, professional commercials at an affordable price. You provide the script, or we will write one for you. Tell us what special effects you need, or we can add one for you. Check out our features to make your commercial sound great. Go to www.fiverr.com/mwagner and get your commercial done today. www.fiverr.com/mwagner. Also affiliated with www.mikewagnervoiceover.com. Attention singers and musicians. Are you on YouTube promoting your music but not getting the results you deserve? Need more views? Need to stand out from the crowd? No matter where you're at, our course, 25 Steps to Rock Your YouTube Views, will show you how to maximize the views on your cover video in 1 week without paying a cent. This book will guide you step by step how to increase your presence on YouTube, plus 25 video tutorials with our ebook and unlimited support to answer all your questions. If you're willing to invest your time in your career, commit to learning by video, this course is for you. And it's all for $27. Plus a 30-day money-back guarantee and lifetime access with no limits. Be one of the first 50 people to sign up and get 30% off. Sign up today on udemy.com and get the course 25 Steps to Rock Your YouTube Views. The great way to maximize the views on your cover video for 1 week without paying a cent. Sign up now.
Justin the Geek.
Break it up.
On the ones and twos.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Again, I'm here with Alan Quant from thedigitalcraft.com. I wanted to move right into a little bit of tech news. We have not a whole lot of stories, but actually, I was thinking we could start out, Alan, if you want to talk about it now, your trip that you just got back from, because you were going to go, sure. You were going to go and do some video for a band, and I wanted everybody to hear about that.
I do video for a band called Pink Droid, little spin-off of Pink Floyd and Star Wars, if that didn't register right away. But I run the projection screen video for them, and we did a show in Detroit on Friday. Actually, it's Ferndale, which is a kind of a suburb of Detroit, and then Toledo, Ohio, on Saturday. And we'll be doing a bunch of shows throughout Indiana, and then also El Paso, Texas, and I believe a couple shows near the Chicago area all this summer. So it's pretty cool. Excuse me, but what we do, we kind of got left high and dry, not totally high and dry, but the video guy they had before kind of had to, I don't know, I'm not sure the story, but he had to part ways with them and pretty much just left us with a bunch of videos that go with the songs, but no real method of delivering them.
Oh, nice.
So we were kind of at a loss. He was using some really fancy software, some VJ software, with his Mac and all that. And so we ended up pulling together, and my cousin, which my wife's going to hate this, but he found an electronics recycling place here downtown in Fort Wayne.
Oh.
And apparently you can just go there and buy electronics for dirt cheap. He managed to get this like $1,200 video mixer. Granted, it's from the 90s. I mean, this thing is ancient, but it's still going for $1,200. I don't know what it went for back in the 90s, but he got that for like $50, and along with that, a nice or semi-nice LED or LCD monitor for $25.
Oh, dang.
So I'm gonna have to stay clear of there. But
if they take PayPal, you're gonna be broke if they do.
I know. But yeah, so we got that, and we didn't have a whole lot of time to prep for these shows, so we just had to throw a whole bunch of videos on DVDs. And I had very little control over these videos, and and it's a band, so they're not playing to the video necessarily.
Right.
They're playing as a band, so things are going to be they're going to drag on a little bit, or they might play it just a tad bit faster than normal. So I had to figure out ways to get around these issues. I didn't want the videos to run out too quick. So I learned from the first set of the first show really quick what happens when the video runs out. And for a split second, the DVD menu screen came up.
Oh, no.
In front of the entire audience. And,
on the projection screen itself?
On the projection screen, yeah. So, and for this show, it wasn't a hole in the wall club, but it was a smaller club, and I actually had to set up kind of in the audience. So it was even more unnerving because I've got people sitting around me watching me.
Oh, weird.
So they know who the guy is that did that, And luckily, all of the band, except for my cousin, the lead singer, they didn't see it. And he was the one person that didn't want to see it, and he did see it. But I'm not fired.
That's good.
But I learned really quick. I quickly came up with a solution, and I had duplicates of each DVD for each set. And I took the second DVD player, and I just put in the same DVD, and I would start the video for the song on the second DVD player about a minute late.
Oh, okay.
And that way, if I knew the time was running out, I can quickly do a little crossfade into the video, which granted, I'm rehashing some of the video that people just saw.
That's better than a DVD
way
menu.
Better than a DVD, the DVD menu screen coming up. Plus, we use a circle screen. I don't know if anybody familiar with Pink Floyd has seen it in their live shows on like YouTube and such. They always use this big circular screen. So what we have to do is all of our videos have a mask around them, so it's just a circle video because we don't want everything else projecting onto the backdrop of the stage.
Right.
So when the menu came up, it didn't just show up on the circle, it showed up all over the whole stage. So it's just bad all around. But granted, it was only a couple seconds, but yeah, I figured out a way to get around that. I also had to. I was moved by the club into this little nook from where I first set up. They said I was in the way, and I was forced to put my DVD players on the seat, so I couldn't even see the time. So I took the jewel cases my DVDs were in, and I positioned them in a way at an angle next to the digital readout, and I was reading the time upside down in a reflection. So
that's so funny.
Yeah, but no, it was a great time. Toledo's stage was amazing. It was a huge venue. I think it housed about 1,000 people, and
wow, it
looked really cool. The stage was awesome. We kind of have to form that to the venue. Sometimes we don't use all the props and all that, but it was a really good experience.
That's good. And, I remember on the Digital Crafts Facebook page, there were some pictures of the setup that you had, and I'm sure you'll be adding more soon.
Yeah, we'll put some more up there. I was right when we first got to the venue and realized how big it was. I thought I'd take a photo of it.
Yeah. I love the before and afters of anything. It's great to see it as normal and then how it's set up as the production. And isn't that funny, though, that that's how things probably were done for a while as DVDs, and it's so, inefficient. nowadays.
Oh, it is. It's terrible.
You know?
If I accidentally skip ahead, I have to go back through. Now, granted, if I would have made the DVDs, I would have made them a little more navigatable. But yeah, I basically had, if I went ahead too fast, I had to go back to the menu, hit play, and then skip ahead again and hope I got the right one. Of course, because I can barely read the readout. I'm reading everything upside down. 2 looks like 5. 5 looks like 2. So what we're eventually going to be doing is using an iPod, an iPad, something like that, or a couple of them with this video mixer until we choose a software solution. Oh, okay. But that'll be much easier to navigate, much more familiar anyway.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And with DVDs, if you bump the DVD player, you're in trouble.
Oh yeah, because I even considered sticking something underneath them to angle them up. I thought kind of came to me mid-show, so that I had to read everything upside down. I'm thinking, man, I'm going to bump this thing, and it's going to start skipping, and then probably again revert back to the menu or something, or just totally stop, and then I'll see this like no source found in all blue.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
That'd be perfect for the middle of the show,
right? I did test out the iPod at the end at the second show, and I used that to put up logos and graphics, and that worked out really well.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's cool. At least you had a good time. It seemed to work out. And like
it's fun going on tour with bands.
Oh, I'm sure. And like I said, Alan will probably put some pictures up on the Digital Crafts Facebook page, so you can head over there at facebook.com/thedigicraft, and you can like the page and see a bunch of pictures from that.
Yeah, and come see us if we're in your area.
Yeah, they're. Do you know where you're going next?
Next is we have a bunch of Indiana dates, and then we're going to El Paso first. I forgot about that.
That's right. The El Paso show is coming up.
Yeah, we'll be in El Paso, I think June 5th. It's June 6th.
Oh, that's coming up soon.
Yeah, the Speaking Rock Entertainment Center. I don't think you can call it a casino there, but it is a casino. Yeah. Which is cool. We get all of our room and board paid for. We each get our own hotel room. We kind of get treated like semi-royalty there. That's kind of cool. The casino's pretty cool.
Oh, that's good. Okay, well, yeah, go and see Alan and Pink Droid. You can go meet Alan if you can find him. He likes to hide. He hides very well.
7-foot tall man with the mohawk.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't hide very well.
No, not at all. You stick out like a sore thumb. Well, let's run to a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and I'll talk about some tech news going around. We'll be right back on Live Speak with Justin the Geek.
Stop. Everyone listen to me. You're spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time taking your computer to the Geek Squad. If you want your computer to run better, here is the secret. Do it yourself. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but I promise you it's not. With proper guidance, you can get your computer running like brand new again. See for yourself. Sign up for Computer Repair for Beginners and Experts alike today. It's only $9. That's it. Even if you don't think your computer needs a tune-up, this course is designed to help prevent future problems from happening. If someone told you that you could prevent your car from breaking down, would you take advantage of it? Of course you would. So why neglect your computer, especially for only $9? And every review has been a perfect 5-star rating that speaks for itself. With a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, what do you have to lose? Head over to www.geekcreations.com and click online courses to get started today. Save yourself a headache. Fix it in one day so you can get back to using your computer again. Go now. www.geekcreations.com. That's GEEKREATIONS.com and click online courses. Time is wasting. Go now. You're listening to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Every Sunday at 2 p.m., he's bringing you amazing courses from great instructors on Udemy.com. Lots of tech talk, phone calls, and much more. Live every Sunday of every week. This is Live Speak. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Before the break, we were talking about Alan's little trips with the Pink Droid band, and I wanted to move into some tech news and some things that are going around. And I was reading the other day on Google News, and the first story that I found is actually, to me, is both good and bad. It's basically new ways to spend money with zero effort, as if that's not hard to do now. That's easy. Alan and I with our PayPal, that's easy enough to spend all our money. But there's companies out there, because of that, we're in the age of big data. these companies are making it almost effortless to spend money, and it can be good for you if you're shopping and you don't want to deal with the registers and things like that, but it can also probably be bad if you spend your mortgage money on something you don't need. But there are companies like SoldZ, it's called. It's a company, say a company just posts a picture on Facebook, and then you comment sold, and while the supplies last, that thing that you couldn't live without is now a thing that you live with, just by commenting sold. And then you check out through a link that gets sent to your email. So you don't even have to put, just to get the item. You obviously have to put payment information in afterwards, but to get something, it's just a picture and you type the word sold. Sounds pretty easy to me. The other one, they have Pay Whale, which, have fear for this phrase, text to buy. Text to buy. Okay, so say you see a TV commercial with a code on it, some kind of code. You text the name of the product to the number, and boom, it's on its way. That's all you do. You buy.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. So, and once you buy something, of course, then you'll receive text offers for discounts on other related products just by using your phone. I mean, geez, that's gonna deplete my account. I'm sure 3 a.m. infomercials.
Yeah, I remember when it was bad for me to have cash in my pocket. It would burn a hole in it. And anymore, it's probably better for me to put my cash in my pocket.
Oh, that's how it is for me.
Leave my phone at home.
If I take cash out and put it in my wallet and say, I'm spending only this week, all that money will save, especially if I get like a $50 bill. I won't ever break it because nobody takes them. So I just end up keeping that the whole week pretty much. So debit card, all, $1 here, $2 there, $3 there. It adds up and it's quick. Now, this other one is called Sync with Twitter. And you thought drunk tweeting was dangerous before. Now, if you link like your American Express account to your Twitter, twiddle, I can't even say it, your Twitter handle through their site, you can watch the card company, American Express company's feed for special offers. And then if you see something, all you have to do is just tweet the right hashtag, like hashtag buy digital camera, and a confirmation with a second tag sends the toy that you bought directly to you. So all you have to do is just hashtag buy whatever, and it comes right to you.
That's wild. Yeah. I got lost on Twitter handle, and I was thinking, just saying those two words together 5 years ago, what is a Twitter handle?
What is a Twitter handle? If you can say it, I can't.
The words we make up and put together, it's amazing.
I know. I know. We're talking big data, and I wonder if how the dictionary has changed. I can only imagine. Right. Now, the last one that I read about, which I'm actually kind of excited for, is called MasterPass, and you know what QR codes are for? Little QR codes. I don't really know what you do with them besides you scan the QR code and it takes you to like a website, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a fancy way to do something that should be simpler. I think it was really cool that you can make these little barcode thing. Well, I guess they're not barcodes, but barcode like or esque things, and you can attach a URL to them or something. So you can go make a little QR code that if somebody scans it, it goes straight to geekcreations.com.
Right. Yeah. And
something like that. I
got one of those and put it on my business card because I've seen a lot of people with that. You can scan it with your smartphone and it goes right to your website, like an online resume.
I get the impression that it might just be easier to go to the website on your phone than opening up the app, taking the picture, hope you got it right.
Yeah. Go to the app. Hopefully it scans it right. Yeah. Well, this company, MasterPass, their program is going to let shoppers snap a picture of a QR code on a tag in a store, and then you can either take the item to go or have it shipped home. So, in other words, you bypass the registers completely. No more standing in line at Walmart. No more waiting for the one person that's actually working at Walmart out of the 75 lanes that are there. You can just go, scan something, it pulls the money out of your account, and you can just leave with it. Just walk out.
Man, that's got to be really hard to do loss prevention with.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
No, I scanned it, buddy.
Yeah, and then,
I promise I did.
Where does the proof come from? I mean, it's got to be linked directly into a database that goes into their security, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's either gonna. I foresee either a lot of stolen goods or some really annoying security measures, like being searched every time you leave, and
let me see your phone.
Yeah, let me see your phone. Let me look at all your items, which then, totally defeats the whole purpose. If they're gonna look through all your crap, you might as well just go through the checkout.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess it would be nice if you're, if they just did it for shipping stuff. If you were to buy something in the store and have it shipped to your house or something, some big item, you wouldn't have to wait in line for them to scan it and then go to the very back of Walmart, which takes 9 hours to get it and bring it up to you and put it in your car. Just have it scanned, send it to me. I'm out.
I wonder how big Walmart and things like that are going to be in the next 5-10 years. I mean, there's going to be more and more products. Are we going to have to get a vehicle to navigate Walmart at one point? Will there be like a Walmart mall?
Oh man, it's so funny because there's a movie out there and I think it's funny. It's stupid, but it's funny.
What you're going to say.
Yeah, it's called Idiocracy. And there's a scene in there and they go to Costco and it's like, it's bigger than a city.
A city, isn't it?
And the main guy's like, this is where I got my law degree, was at Costco. It's like it encompasses everything to do with life in Costco. So, I don't, and you walk in.
As I was making that statement, that movie came to my mind, that image of them going through Costco.
Mm-hmm. And just taking the railway all the way to the end. And taking 10-minute trips to the back of Costco. Yeah. That's so funny. But that's, things are getting more effortless and the security behind it also is a big problem. But eventually you'll just be able to walk into a store, grab something and just walk out. Legally. You can do that now, but
yeah, you can totally do that now. I just don't recommend it.
I mean, eventually it'll actually take money from your account and you can not get arrested for it, but
yeah, they won't let you have that item in jail.
No. No. There's another thing I was reading about too, because the iPhones are so popular now, that there's a new company that if you can't afford an iPhone on AT&T or the other big networks, this company called Solvay's Budget iPhone Network, they actually have for $49 a month without a contract. This mobile service provider offers unlimited voice, text, and data for those who bring over their existing phones, all while using T-Mobile's infrastructure. T-Mobile does offer a comparable plan. I think T-Mobile, it says $70 a month, and they both operate on the same network. The difference in pricing can be attributed to Solvay's grassroots marketing. So they say in lieu of a tall marketing budget, the provider relies on its members for word-of-mouth advertising, reducing their bills by $20 a month for every 3 referrals that stay on the service. So they're kind of using the referral service with their customers to pay for your bill. And since launching just last summer, their referral payouts have totaled more than $9.5 million since last summer. So they're doing pretty good.
That's
wild. And I guess the network is, like I said, they're using T-Mobile's network. So it's not too bad. I mean, it's still using a big brand infrastructure, and it says that it's more than 6 megabits per second download and 1 megabit per second upload. So that's still pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, on my phone, it's, if it doesn't chug internet wise, it doesn't bother me that much. If it takes me a minute to pull up a page, at home, the speed matters a lot to me. But
right,
this is cool though. I mean, I hope more companies start adapting things like this. We just recently, I just went to the Verizon store trying to figure out how we might save money on our bill, because phone bills are ridiculous. Granted, we have too many phones, but my daughter in Florida has a phone, and the kids here have a phone to use because we don't have a house phone. And my wife and I have smartphones, and I was starting to think, I don't use my smartphone very much, as people might be amazed by that.
Right.
But I'd be happier just using my old phone as a tablet and use it Wi-Fi at home and just use it as a phone when I leave. So I was curious to see what my bill would be like if I didn't have a smartphone anymore. And I was going to save $10 taking my phone off the bill. So,
well,
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what my bill actually is, but I mean, let's just say $10 is not much.
Yeah, that's so. I do hope people come up with, like you said, different ways of getting these smartphones out there, because that's the way of the world now. In Europe, they aren't really adapt to that yet, surprisingly. Like Germany, it takes them a while to. They have to have things perfect. Everything has to be spot on perfect in Germany before they'll adapt anything and use it. So
America might want to take that.
Right, Microsoft might want to
take the lead on that. Yeah, Microsoft.
But they'll wait, and I mean they do have some smart phones and tablets and things, but they're not there like we are in a lot of places in Europe and Italy, and they're just not there. It's strange, but I would think they would be the same as us, but they're not. They just haven't gotten to that point yet, and it's going to be. So why not make things affordable? Find a area to get into so people can afford your fancy iPhones and things like that. Why not? And I was reading too in that same article, there's a new case for the iPhone to keep it out of your face. It says, there's a case called the mirror case. It integrates an angled mirror so you can shoot photos while the iPhone is in a horizontal position. And then the corresponding app that goes with it inverts the picture so it's facing right side up. So you can actually be like talking on your phone and take a picture, and it'll flip it upside down for you and make it perfectly right. There's a bunch of different things that I like with the iPhone. But for me, little accessories with the camera are actually really cool. They're some of my favorites. The little adapters they have for the cameras, the fisheye and things like that, I've heard they are terrible.
I'm interested in that. You and I were poking around on the interwebs a while back, and I was again at the Verizon wireless website, and I had found that digital camera that has an Android interface on the back. We should talk about that someday.
Yeah.
I'll look more into that, but that looked pretty cool, or promising anyways. I'm sure the first model is probably crap, but...
Right, that's how it usually goes. But why not? I mean, the phones are all cameras. Why not make a camera with some phone features in it so you get more, higher resolution camera with some things that a phone can do? Why not? That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's go to... we'll run to a quick music break, and then we'll come back on and see if we can get our guest onto the line and talk about Spreaker. We'll be right back on Live Speak with Justin the Geek.
Hey, I heard you are a wild one. Ooh, if I took you home, it'd be a home run. Show me how you do. I wanna shut down the clock with you. Hey, I heard you like the wild one. Ooh.
They say that I'm a wild boy, big MGK, so we're party all night, yeah, let me relay. Another one time, keep it on replay, and we're gonna make that, like one day. Tell me where to go, tell me where it is, I say party in the club, party in the crib. Walk up, balls like cheese, success with the end of the night, with all of our ass, I'm crazy. I'm going half, coming up into the bed like I'm a new fresh prince. This ain't remember me from last night when the song past dance. Just what we could do for the music, with me, take that, get it, just music. Music is a special, most on the go, switch to a level J8. Come Steve-O.
Hey, I heard you are a wild
Come Steve-O.
one.
Come Steve-O.
If I took you home, it'd be a home
Be the wild
run.
ones. Be the wild
Show
ones.
me how
Like
you do. I wanna shut down the clock with you. Hey, I heard you like a wild one.
Shot glass pulled up, but I sip more blood. I don't shut, cause I'm always getting messed up. I'm a wild one, drink it till the sun's up. Hit the fingers up, hey, we don't give a fuck. We can party like all day, keep it rockin' all night. Straight to the venue like hold up. DJ turn it up till this my night. Like a rubber. Shots keep on coming like, homie, we don't stop. Keep it bumping in the club like a bottle gonna pop. To all the ladies, you can drop it down low. Wanna back up, make it work on the pole. Party till the AM, do it till the morning. Pretty young, riding free.
Hey, I heard you are a wild one. Ooh, if I took you home, it'd be a home run.
You're listening to Live Speak with Justin the Geek every Sunday at 2 p.m. He's bringing you amazing courses from great instructors on Udemy.com. Lots of tech talk, phone calls, and much more. Live every Sunday of every week. This is Live Speak. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Again, I'm here with Alan Quant from thedigitalcraft.com. We are talking about Spreaker.com and podcasts and broadcasts. We're going to have a guest here in just a minute. I wanted to talk a little bit about it. There's a fantastic quote that I've read before from him, and it says, "Life is not a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, 'Wow, what a ride.'" I love that quote.
I love that.
It's so great. This quote comes from the CEO and co-founder of Spreaker.com, Francesco Baschieri. He's an experienced entrepreneur and manager in the technology space. He also does small angel investing, and he advises startup companies. I know he has a master's in computer engineering, so he's a nerd like us, which is great. And as of right now, like I said, he's the co-founder and the CEO of Spreaker.com. So I'd like to introduce Francesco Baschieri. How you doing, Francesco?
I'm very good. How
Good.
are you doing, guys?
Doing fantastic.
Very good.
So I want to let everybody know Francesco's over in Berlin right now.
Yes, exactly.
He's quite a few hours ahead of us here in the United States. Me especially, being on the West Coast. You're 9 hours ahead?
Yes, 9 hours. It's 11:40 right here.
Yeah, so
On
he
a
stayed up
beautiful
late.
Sunday night.
There's some exciting things going on over in Berlin right now. He was telling me about some carnival stuff and people out in the street dancing and having fun. And I just, over here in where I live, I just don't ever see that.
Definitely not where I live.
No.
And we get in trouble for that.
Yeah, exactly. We go to jail. No, I was talking about Spreaker and podcasting and broadcasting and things like that, and I did mention that you were one of the creators of Spreaker, and I wanted to ask you who the other creators of Spreaker are, because I know there are other co-founders, and what has it been like working with them?
So where do I have to start? I mean, we had some glitches, of course, along the way, but now everything is running smoothly, and it's been a great ride. Like my quote said, I mean, we're just having a lot of fun doing what we're doing, even though we actually put up a lot of work hours every single day with stuff.
Oh, I'm sure. And so there's right now it's you and I think you said Marco and Rocco. I can't say their last names. I'm terrible with that.
So yes, originally, long story short, we were a bunch of guys. We had a previous startup company. We were doing Bluetooth hotspots, and at some point during 2009, we sold it to another company back in Italy. That's where we're from. And during the year that we had to stay and work for the other company that purchased the startup that we had just sold, we're trying to figure out what to do next. And we came up with this idea. It's an interesting story. I can tell you a bit more about this later. And in 2010, we all quit and started working on this new venture. And actually, out of the 5 original co-founders, only 3 of us quit and then started working on Spreaker. The other 2 basically invested their money in the venture, and that's where we are now.
Oh, okay. That's great. So, I mean, what was the very beginning of Spreaker like? I mean, how did the idea come about? Did somebody just say, "Hey, I think this would be great if we could just broadcast to people live"? Or, I mean, was there one person that came up with it first, or how does that happen?
Actually, I remember it very clearly. It was in late 2008, I think. I was traveling for work. I was in this hotel, and I got this call from my colleague at the time, Daniele. And we were into that brainstorming situation because we're about to sell the company and we wanted to come up with something else. And they said, "Hey, listen, I'm very interested in this music space. There's a lot of companies doing music streaming online, but it would be cool if we could do something better than that. and I wasn't very much sold on the idea originally, because there were, at least here in Europe, Last FM doing what Pandora is doing today in the States. So I saw that as a very crowded space with very big players, but somehow I wanted to explore it further. And so what I noticed, and what we all noticed, is that a lot of these playlist generation services and music on demand services started to born, actually. But the real idea of radio with talking heads or with DJs saying something in between songs had yet to come. And so we said, okay, actually IP radio and streaming radio eventually is going to the car. We'll all be listening to this into our cars. What will we be listening to? Playlists all the time? Or do we also want to listen to talk and other kind of mixed content? And so the idea of Spreaker came out.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I do think about that. When I first got, let's use a Sirius satellite, for example. Before they merged, I got the Sirius satellite for my car, and I was able to listen to like Howard Stern and other talk shows, sports shows, things like that. And it gave me the freedom to not have to listen to basically a playlist of just music. You know, there are some talk radio stations and stuff where I live, but having the freedom to kind of just choose from thousands of different things, I think that's dead on. And that's what I love about Spreaker. I can go to Spreaker's website, click on listen, and go through their topics. If I want to listen to a technology show, there's a ton. You know, if I want to just listen to a health show, I can do that. Or if there's music shows too, if I want some music. So I think it's genius.
You know,
Yeah,
it's really. Oh, sorry. Go
sorry,
ahead.
Alan. No, you first. Sorry, I'm sorry, guys. I don't have your rhythm, so
No,
I
that's
don't
fine.
want to interrupt you.
Alan interrupts people all the time.
I never know when to start. No, I was going to say, you know, it's not just cool for the listeners, but for us as hosts. I mean, think about what we're doing right now is just amazing. We're broadcasting live. Justin's in Washington on one end of the country here. I'm in the Midwest in Indiana, and then you're over there in Berlin, and we're all talking seamlessly, and I just think that's awesome.
I do too. I'm still amazed by that little, you know, it's still magic to me. The fact that we're all talking to each other from completely different parts of the world.
I'm in my basement, man. You know, how cool is that? You know?
Yeah. No, you're right.
That's
And
awesome.
that's one of the things I absolutely love about Spreaker is the reach. You know, there's people that listen to the show from all over the world. It's not just here in, you know, my city that I live in. And that's what's so
Definitely.
great about it.
I get a few friends of mine listening live from Italy right now, and I'm in Germany, so we're keeping in touch through that.
Yeah, that's great.
That's so cool.
You're originally from Italy. Where in Italy are you from?
I'm from Bologna,
Oh, that's
which is the city of mortadella, or ragu, as you know that. It's a sauce for tagliatelle.
I love the
yeah.
accent. It's killer.
Someone calls Bologna the food capital of Italy, and I'm very proud of it. Luckily, yeah.
Oh, I could definitely hang out there. I love food.
Oh, you're welcome. You can come at any time. Actually, I'm not there to welcome you, but you can go at any time. I'll be there.
Okay. I'll have to get my passport and head over there next weekend. Actually, I think it takes like a month to get a passport here.
Oh, really? Is it longer than in Italy?
Yeah, it takes a while to get a passport.
Wow.
Because I think
thought
that's what's stopped me from getting it is I'm so lazy. I don't want to wait a month. I mean, you can get like a passport card, which it'll let you get into Mexico and Canada, and that's like a 2-week process. But if you want a full-on passport where you can go anywhere in the world, that takes about a month, and background checks and all that stuff.
Well, you gotta do it. You have to if you want to travel to Europe, and you definitely want to, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm going to get one. I had one when I was younger because I was in the military family. My dad was in the Air Force, and there was a chance that we were going to have to move, you know, to Incirlik, Turkey, in 1994. We ended up not moving there. My dad went there and served for like 9 months on his own without us. So I haven't renewed it since then. So I have a passport with me at 10 years old. I don't think they would take that.
I don't know. Do you change that much?
Just a little bit, yeah. So, I mean, what do you think with Spreaker? Why do you think it has done so well? I mean, is regular radio kind of on its way out? I know you were talking about how IP radio and things are going to be in the car, but I know regular radio is kind of, they're laying off staff a lot, and they're kind of cutting back. It's getting to be more and more automated, just playlists and things like that anyway.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's not what people want. I mean, the reason why these guys were there in the first place is that the reason why people listen to AM or FM radio is personalities. At least here in Europe, if you ask someone why he or she prefers a particular radio channel, they're gonna tell something to you about music. But then at the end of the day, everyone chooses depending on personalities, and that's what even the big radio station guys know. Fact is, they're laying off staff at local radio station. They're trying to do more and more national syndicated shows in the US, at least, because at the end of the day, they cost less. They only have one single studio and not so many different producing location. It's not just the compensation on the host, actually, because national celebrities and national talents make a lot of money, and probably that would account up to the money that all the local talents do. But they're just trying to do it and rationalize costs. But they know that they have to find a way to produce shows with a lower budget. So actually, these guys are very interested in what we're doing. They want to be able to give to their talents or host an iPad and tell them, hey, you know what, start broadcasting stuff from your living room, and we're not going to put this on air, but we're going to create some other properties of ours on the digital channels, and eventually this will merge with all our offer, and this just another channel, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, and I think about that too with the radio stations that we have here. I don't know, between the time I moved from here and then moved back, they had sold to iHeartRadio, which is a national syndicate, and the quality of the radio station went down the tubes. I mean, they play the same 10 songs all the time, and there's no personality. Like you said, you don't ever hear anyone talking on the radio anymore. It's just music, commercials.
Yeah,
So,
and here in Fort Wayne, I think we have two stations that are locally owned left. The rest of them have been bought out by Clear Channel and one other one. And we lost a lot of cool shows, things like local music shows where the host would actually have us musicians into the studio and chat with us and things like that. And once the national companies bought them out, we lost that. We lost that ability. They didn't want to have any of that. They just wanted to play the national stuff, get the playlist in, and it's a shame.
Yeah, it really is. Let's run to a quick commercial break here, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about Spreaker and how it got started. So we'll be right back on Live Speak with Justin the Geek.
Need a do-it-yourself with your website? Let the gurus at thedigitalcraft.com teach you how to build, design, and maintain your website at an affordable price. They offer private training on web programming, graphic and web design, video production, motion graphics, and expert consulting. Book your session today on Facebook at facebook.com/thedigitcraft and check out free tutorials at youtube.com/thedigitcraft or take our courses on udemy.com. Thedigitalcraft.com, your web and design gurus. Stop. Everyone listen to me. You're spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time taking your computer to the Geek Squad. If you want your computer to run better, here is the secret. Do it yourself. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but I promise you it's not. With proper guidance, you can get your computer running like brand new again. See for yourself. Sign up for computer repair for beginners and experts alike today. It's only $9. That's it. Even if you don't think your computer needs a tune-up, this course is designed to help prevent future problems from happening. If someone told you that you could prevent your car from breaking down, would you take advantage of it? Of course you would. So why neglect your computer, especially for only $9? And every review has been a perfect 5-star rating that speaks for itself. With a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, what do you have to lose? Head over to www.geekcreations.com and click online courses to get started today. Save yourself a headache. Fix it in one day so you can get back to using your computer again. Go now. www.geekcreations.com. That's GEEKREATIONS.com. CATIONS.com.
And click online courses. Time is wasting. Go now.
Okay, stand by.
It's Justin, the Geek. Are you ready to rock?
Ladies, make some noise.
All right, everybody, welcome back again to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. We're here with Francesco Baschieri from Spreaker.com, the CEO and co-founder. We were talking a little bit before the break about Spreaker and why it's done so well, and I have some more questions, and I'm wondering, for everyone else out there that has a startup, let's say I have a startup, and I just got a few people to agree that it's a great idea. What is one of the first steps that I should take?
Well, it really depends what you're trying to do. If it's hardware, software, digital. I'm more focused on the internet software startups. And, well, today's mantra is just go out and do it. Somehow you have to try and do it. It's gotten so cheap and easy to start. And you actually want to test your product with real people, at least have a prototype before you even go out and show it to someone. And that's the hard truth these days. Mm-hmm. Even investors expect you to show up to them with something which is already working, has some traction, some users, and potentially it's already doing some money. So I'm sorry if this is not an answer, but it's...
No, it's genius. I love that you said that, because a lot of people think that you can just have this idea and go pitch it to rich people, and then this rich person's going to make everything happen. And the reality of it is, like you're saying, is you actually have to create your product first, get some people using it, and then show that it's a viable product.
Yeah, unfortunately, these rich people tend to be smart, and they are not throwing money out of the window. So they actually are investing their money when they are at ease with it. They think that the risk is worth it. And as of today, I mean, since it's so easy and cheap to create something in the digital space, they actually want to be sure that you're able to do something before they invest their money in you.
Yeah, I mean, you can have an idea, but have no idea how to execute that idea, and that's really wise of them not to invest in just anybody who just has a simple idea. If I had an idea for a car, I don't know how to make a car. I don't even know who to hire to make the car, so I would be a very bad investment there. Whereas if I were to come up with an idea for the internet or something like that I can actually, as a developer, I could develop it and then show them. That makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But there are even people who have ideas and are not developers. So they probably have to leverage on their key assets and key abilities. And one of the very important things for an entrepreneur is to be inspiring. So at least you have to show people that you can inspire co-founders to come and work with you, actually inspire employees or people who are willing to work for free or very little money at the beginning. And these are... traits and things that you need to have and show to potential investors if you want them to invest in you.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, I mean, so say now, moving on from that, if I got this product and I have maybe 500 people using it and it shows some good potential, where would I go from there? I mean, I don't know how to find anyone that would be interested in that. I mean, I can't go to a bank and get a loan, but I personally don't know any rich people, that would invest in me. So are there groups out there, or are there, investment companies that you can pitch your idea to? Well,
there's a lot of, the truth is that there's a lot of capital available. And once you get to that point, you probably will know the ways to get access to it. In the past, I think 2 or 3 years, angel investing and seed stage investing has literally exploded all over the U.S., mostly in California, of course, but also in New England and in other areas. And everyone is crazy about this platform called AngelList. I don't know if you ever heard about it. Mm-hmm. The website is angel.co, and you basically list your company, actually a company, not an idea, there, and tell something about your traction, your metrics, and stuff like that. And you start pitching to rich individuals, high net worth individuals, or small funds get introductions. I mean, everything is pretty much automated. And, well, at the end of the day, you probably have to do some meetings in person and show up and show these people that you exist and you're trustworthy. But, I mean, everything is really, really simple. The problem is your competition. Is the fact that you're one of 100,000 deals or potential deals that these guys see all over the course of their life, and you have to stand out as a very good investment.
Right. Yeah, I put this in terms of when I went to the Art Institute in Portland. There's a annual show called SciGraph, and you go down there and you hand your portfolio to these companies like EA Sports for PlayStation games or whatever for special effects. And at the time, you would hand your DVD and your business card to them, and that right on the spot, they'll throw it into their DVD player, put it on fast forward, watch it in super high speed. If they don't see anything that catches their eye, they throw it in the garbage. Because they have to go through so many of them a day. And if
it's kind of what it's like being a musician too.
Yeah.
A lot of times the record companies won't even take your music out of the envelope you send it to them and not just throw it in the trash.
Right.
It's really tough.
Now, when you were talking about the Angel List, it brought to mind something called Kickstarter. And what do you think about Kickstarter and crowdfunding in general?
Well, they're totally revolutionizing the game. Actually, they're not for everyone, for every company, of course. Mm-hmm. They've been working very, very well for product-based companies, not service-based companies, of course, because people spend money in advance to get a hold of the product, the product of their dreams. But I think it's a big game changer. Here in Europe, it just started, and in the US, it's been very, very hot, and everyone is very, very excited because there's not that much capital available here. So we think it's going to be a great opportunity. I usually read about the top success stories on Kickstarters, of course, but there's a lot of people that I know that have posted their company there, not an idea, but really a company producing products on a small scale and weren't able to reach their goals. So, I mean, stories are different for everyone.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I never thought of it that way. You're right, though. It is very product-based. When I look at Kickstarter, and for those that don't know, you can go to Kickstarter.com and see people are putting things up there. I looked the other day, somebody's looking for a certain amount of money to fund their new record album or their new song album. And so they have a what do you call it? A goal amount that they'd like. Say they want $100,000. They put that there, and then people just give them, they donate. And then once the goal's reached and that product is made, the people that donated get first dibs, and they get it sent to them.
Yeah, and that's really cool. I mean, and even for local artists like me, we don't need $100,000 to make an album. We can make an album for under $5,000, and a lot of times that's just getting our fan base to donate $5 or $10 each, which they do coming to see us play anyway. And so it's much better than us taking our hard-earned money that we need for bills and things like that, and being able to, pull from the fans to put out the album, which is for them anyways.
Yeah, and it's
really cool.
It's a central location for everyone to kind of go, and it's for you to put your idea somewhere centrally located so people can go and find it. If you have an idea before Kickstarter and the Angel List and things like that, like I said, you don't really know where to go or even how to get it out there, but at least these kind of give you a starting point to get some backing and get some capital. Now, was the idea for Spreaker, was it always as full as the finished product, or did you start with a base and then pivot from that point?
Well, it's funny that you are talking about a finished product, because that's not exactly how we consider it.
I knew it.
Yeah, art's never finished.
Yeah, I knew it.
It's never. I mean, the original idea was much more complicated than what you see today, actually. And that was a problem, because we started up building actually too much stuff, and we eventually had to pull stuff away from the product because we weren't able to properly manage growth in terms of, user experience and even software development. So when you start with too much of a big goal, then you have to probably scale it down. Otherwise, no way you're gonna make it with your team. And actually, in the case of Spreaker, the biggest problem was getting the early adopters to get the product, get the feel and the use of the product. So we actually had to take out so many features to make it simpler and simpler, so that a big enough number of people would understand how to use it. And many of these features are actually the feature that the community asked for today. And it's funny because 2 years and a half ago, we had to pull them off because they were actually creating a lot of discomfort and a lot of puzzlement in our users. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's So this was a particular case. It doesn't always go like that. We got a lot of things wrong. A lot of assumptions and hypotheses were totally wrong at the beginning. It happens. We didn't know anything about this particular market or the psychology of our users. We just grew with them. So we did a lot of wrong stuff, market-wise, sales-wise, but I think we totally got the product idea pretty much right at the beginning. That was the only thing we got right.
You guys do something that's really cool, and I noticed a lot more companies doing this, but not enough, and that's having really good interaction with the users.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the forums a lot, and I answer support questions whenever I can, and just, of course, you guys can't take every little suggestion that comes in, but seeing the fact that you guys do take the really good suggestions, the ones that make sense, for you as a company and for us, the user, the listener, the et cetera, and that you guys actually take them and go with them, and that's really cool. I wish more companies would do that.
Oh yeah, and not to mention like the community that they have on Facebook, and they've asked for us to send in our pictures constantly and be a part of Spreaker's community album. I don't know anybody that does that even cares about their users or subscribers like that. So I think that's huge.
We're doing what we can. Whereas, as I told you, we're still a small company, so we have to. And this is an advantage when you have to deal with your community, so we can be ourselves and just talk to our users. The problem is that being so few people, we cannot be there 24/7,
right.
And so you have to accept some delays in answering some questions or issues that might happen during the weekend or at times where we sleep, because we have users all around the world, but we're mostly located in Europe. So when it's daytime there in the US, maybe it's like nighttime, 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. here. But in a few hours, we'll be try and respond to everyone. Yeah. So we're just doing our best.
And I think you guys do perfect at it. I mean, I've worked in tech support majority of my adult life, and I've just learned that people they want instant gratification. They want things done right now, and there's zero patience. And you just kind of have to go, okay, well, you're going to have to wait, and people don't understand that you guys aren't robots, that you do.
Yeah, it's not even waiting that long either. That's the nice thing. It's
really not.
Like you said, you do have to sleep sometime. And,
yeah. And it usually we get an answer pretty quick, or it's, we're working on it or something. It's,
and the community is answering too, and that's great also.
Yeah,
the fact that you actually have people in there interested enough to move things along while you guys are, resting and all that.
Yeah,
and that's cool too.
Allowing the community to help like that, like Alan doing the tutorial videos for Spreaker now officially. I mean, that's nice.
That was awesome. Thank you very much. We really appreciated that.
So
because I got more to come, by the way.
Yeah, plenty.
That's awesome because, this is one of the things we, on one side, we don't really have the time to do all the time. And on the other side, we're not native English speakers. So we really appreciate some good radio voice with the Native American accent to do the voiceovers for us.
Right.
That works great.
Awesome. Yeah, I guess I never thought of it that way. So now I want to ask you about the website. I mean, did you code the website yourself, or did you have to hire people to do that?
Well, not me specifically, but my co-founders did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So
that keeps costs down.
Marco and Rocco are really two guru developers. They know everything. I mean, now we hired a bunch of other people doing backend, front end, sysop, admin, everything. But they did everything by themselves at the beginning. So they had to code stuff in C, the MP3 encoding, real-time encoding, and stuff like that. Stuff in Java, all the streaming server and recording server infrastructure. Stuff in PHP, all the web backend, APIs, blah, blah, blah. JavaScript for all the front-end system. Flash and Flex for the whole console and recording infrastructure at the beginning, because we only supported Flash, also on the player side. Now we're trying to move everything to HTML5. So a lot of different technologies, a lot of different stuff to learn, and they did this over a year and something all by themselves. And they had also to scale the business. We moved pretty early to Amazon Web Services, so that's where the majority of our services are hosted. We have roughly 50 servers running Spreaker these days. And so they had to figure out how to manage all this complicated infrastructure, make it scale. So yeah, I'm very glad to have these two smart co-founders.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah. And then we were able to attract some other smart people and talented people, and we'll see the results in the next few weeks.
Oh, I'm excited. Cool. That'll be really nice. So, I'm curious, how long, if you know this, how long did it take to get to like the first 100 active subscribers on Spreaker? Was it pretty instant?
What do you mean subscribers? Like registered users?
Yeah, registered users.
Oh, yeah. I think that was like day one, probably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but well, there was some hype, at least among our friends, among all the people we knew, and we had talked about the product. So we launched beta, I think at the beginning of February 2010, and we stayed in a closed beta till October. That's when we officially launched. But I think we had more than 100 people, well, way more than 100 people to come on board. The problem with this kind of service is like, this is sort of a marketplace. So there are like two different categories of users, content producers and listeners. And you need to have both on the product to succeed. Otherwise, the producers will just go away because there is no audience, or the audience will not find anything interesting to listen to, so they just go away. And it was tricky. The thing we did was to focus on just one side of the equation, just forgetting about the other side because it was too difficult at the beginning. So we just focused on the content producers, and we thought, okay, we cannot give them a really big audience at the beginning because there's not a big audience on Spreaker. So what can we do to help them? Let's do things as easy as possible, and let's enable them to connect to all their existing outlets, social media, YouTube, SoundCloud, everything else, so that if they already have an audience, they can leverage on it at the beginning at least. And that's what we did. And we scaled up from there.
Yeah, it's very good. And then that gets you guys the audience that they bring in, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So from there on, when we opened and when we launched, we did a few marketing tricks and a few stuff, but we had a pretty consistent growth till then. So we haven't reached yet, but we're on track to reach the 2 million registered users, which is not a bad milestone. But most of the users, of course, are content listeners, not content producers. So we're now at the point where we want to do something to help the listening side as well, Spreaker, the discovery and listening and interaction.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. Let's run to a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back, and I have a few listener questions that I want to ask you, some good ones that I think are kind of fun.
Awesome.
So we'll be right back with Francesco Baschieri on Live Speak with Justin the Geek.
Do you like the sound of my commercials? Do you want a commercial? Do you want to play it on your show? Then head over to Mike Wagner at Fiverr.com. Get yours produced now. www.fiverr.com/mwagner. Get fast, friendly, professional commercials at an affordable price. You provide the script, or we will write one for you. Tell us what special effects you need, or we can add them for you. Check out our features to make your commercials sound great. Go to www.fiverr.com/mwagner and get your commercial done today. www.fiverr.com/mwagner. Also affiliated with www.mikewagnervoiceover.com. You're listening to Live Speak with Justin the Geek every Sunday at 2 p.m. He's bringing you amazing courses from great instructors on Udemy.com. Lots of tech talk, phone calls, and much more. Live every Sunday of every week. This is Live Speak. Enjoy the show. Stop. Everyone listen to it. You're spending hundreds of dollars and wasting time taking your computer to the Geek Squad. If you want your computer to run better, here is the secret. Do it yourself. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but I promise you it's not. With proper guidance, you can get your computer running like brand new again. See for yourself. Sign up for computer repair for beginners and experts alike today. It's only $9. That's it. Even if you don't think your computer needs a tune-up, this course is designed to help prevent future problems from happening. If someone told you that you could prevent your car from breaking down, would you take advantage of it? Of course you would. So why neglect your computer, especially for only $9? And every review has been a perfect 5-star rating that speaks for itself. With a no questions asked 30-day money-back guarantee, what do you have to lose? Head over to www.geekcreations.com and click online courses to get started today. Save yourself a headache. Fix it in one day so you can get back to using your computer again. Go now. www.geekcreations.com. That's GEEKREATIONS.com and click online courses. Time is wasting. Go now.
Warning. This show can be freaky.
Justin the Geek. Your favorite DJ.
You've been warned.
Okay, welcome back, everybody, to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. We were talking a little bit before the break about Spreaker, of course, and how quickly they were able to get subscribers into there. And I wanted to move on to some listener questions. I've had some people send some questions on Facebook, and I just wanted to read a few of them off. One of them was from Gary Hilson, and he wanted to know, what is your favorite feel-good story that goes with Spreaker? What was something that you can remember and you will never forget?
Feel good story. That's an interesting expression. Can you help me elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, how would you describe that, Alan?
Kind of like a milestone moment in the development of Spreaker. Something that stuck with you. Something really good.
Yeah, something big that happened with Spreaker that you won't ever forget.
Well, there's been a few big things that have happened that I would never forget. I'm not sure that they're. Everyone would like them, but especially maybe not the people involved in the stories. But I think that the first one dates back to May 2011, if I get it correctly. Yeah, 2011. It was during the Arab Spring movements. And at some point, we found out that there were people inside the besieged city of Misurata in Libya that were actually using Spreaker to broadcast a wartime radio program to their families and supporters outside of Libya, outside of the city. And that was amazing because that reminded us of something that had happened during the war here in Europe and during the 60s and 70s in Italy with the free radio movement. And that was the first time when we thought, okay, this is actually impacting on other people's life for real. It's not a game anymore.
Oh, wow.
And then we had a few other interesting stories, like last year, the guy who got arrested after the standoff in Baltimore. I don't know if you guys read about that. It was pretty popular on Spreaker as well.
Oh yeah.
So that was weird because it was actually for some weird story. But I was in Croatia at the time in December. Not very fancy weather, though. I couldn't go to the sea. It was snowing, actually. And I got a call in the middle of the night from a reporter in Baltimore, asking me about the story, and I didn't know anything about it because it was like 4 a.m. here in Italy or there in Croatia when the whole story developed. And I read about it in the news the following day, and we had like this huge bump of traffic, this huge spike there. A lot of people coming and checking about the story. So, well, it was kind of crazy. I'm so sorry for our user who actually happened to be one of our premium users and got sent to jail. So, unfortunately for us, we had to discontinue subscription. But it was no, I'm kidding. We gave him as a token of support. We gave him a free subscription till the time he gets out of jail. But
Very cool.
that was a cool story. I'm sorry for it though.
No, yeah, I mean that's things like that happen. I mean, fortunately, it helped you. You know, I mean, it helped Spreaker, so that's a good story. I have a couple more questions here. One's from this Tammy Keller Ross. She asks, "How would you define success?"
Well, that's probably the best question so far.
Yeah, it's a hard
I don't know.
one.
I think it's very hard because that's one of the things I want to get in life, of course, success, but it's very personal. And I think I told you the other day, I think that the thing that drives me most in doing this thing, in doing Spreaker in particular, is seeing this product and this thing that I've created taking life by itself, and seeing people use it. And this motivates me, creating a product, and I see people that I never met, and I maybe overhear them talking into the subway and talking about a thing that I've created, and this for me is probably is what success is.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, and like you said earlier, for most artists and things, success is a hard thing because you never feel like you've made that 100%.
No, there's always a goal.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and there's another question here by Richard Drexel, and he's curious what your take on the American dream is, if you have one.
Okay, that's interesting because first time I went to the U.S. It was 2010. I always dreamt of going to the U.S. I was always fascinated, and I ended up going there when I was 34 already. And I probably had given up to a lot of the things or the dreams that I had when I was a kid, and I was totally taken aback when I saw it. I mean, the energy. I went to San Francisco. I went to the probably the west of the West. What I like to think is still the city where people go there looking for gold, you know, like it was in 1884, 1848. And it still feels the same. I mean, the American dream is more alive today than ever. I mean, a lot of people just move there to make it, and a lot of people don't. Some do, and that drives even more crazy people. And the other interesting analogy is that, like in the gold rush, the guys making all the money were the guys selling like shovels and tools. It's the same today. I mean, the guys making all the money or most of the money in San Francisco and the Valley are the guys selling services to the wannabe startuppers, but it's fun anyway. I mean, all the lawyers and CPAs and all the consultants, they're like charging an incredible amount of money to these companies who got funding, and they make a pretty decent life, and the entrepreneurs sometimes make it, sometimes don't. And so, yeah, to answer the question, as Europeans, we're less risk takers. We're much more cautious. We don't take big gambles and risk. But when I moved on the American soil, it was like I was on drugs. I mean, it was crazy. I was totally part of this. I wanted to do it. Totally.
That's interesting. And talking about that, you moved to real quick. You moved to San Francisco from Italy. Was that a move that you moved to San Francisco because that's kind of the startup area?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, yeah, and how long did you live there?
I've lived there for a bit longer than a year in total. Actually, over a period of 2 years. It was a lot of back and forth due to the fact that I didn't have a visa with working permit, so I had to do a lot of flights over the ocean.
Oh yeah, back and forth with the American politics.
Yeah.
That's always fun. We have another listener here, Deb Diane. She's a avid follower and listener of our show, and she asks if you're married. She's kidding, but I think she's wondering for sure, and I'm going to call her out on it too.
Oh no, I'm not married yet.
Not yet, Deb. You hear that? Okay, go marry him. But she actually seriously wanted to know what your biggest regret was in any area of life, not just business.
So when I started doing the entrepreneur, so I have a background as an employee, of course. I started working for a few companies, then I resigned and started doing the entrepreneurs. I swore to myself that I only wanted to have remorses or regret for not doing something instead of regretting. Sorry, the opposite. I would regret having done something instead of not having done something.
Right.
Because it's easier to probably live with, when you're old, to live with a bit of remorse than a lot of regrets. And so I did a lot of things. I did probably most of the things I wanted to do in these past 6 or 7 years. Have done probably a little bit too many sacrifices to my personal life, and that's probably the only bit of regret that I have so far.
Oh, that's not bad. I really like how you said the remorse versus regret. I've never thought of it that way because, when I get older, I'd rather have a little remorse for something I tried and maybe failed at. Yeah,
exactly. Or I don't know how to translate it in English properly, but it was very clear to me. It was at some point I was like talking to my grandma. I have both grandmas still alive, and she's 89. And I told her to her face, "Okay, when I'm your age, probably I would rather regret having done something that turned out to be a failure or something like that, than live with the idea or the regret that I always wanted to do something and I never had the guts or I never tried it. So I decided I'm gonna go for it, whatever it takes."
Yeah, that's the best way to live, in my opinion. I have another question, actually, and briefly you can just sum this up. You don't have to tell the entire story because I know it's long. Is what really brought you to Berlin? Because you were in Italy, then San Francisco, and then Berlin. Well,
staffing mainly. So we wanted to grow the company. We wanted to hire a bunch of talented engineers that were already new in Italy, but they were not willing to move to the city where we were, to Bologna, or nowhere else in Italy. But they were willing to go to Berlin. So we actually moved a whole company of 12 people from different cities in Italy to Berlin. And in hindsight, it makes total sense for them, because apart from the city being a lot of fun, we're still working for a startup, so anything can happen, and they need to have a parachute or a safe way out. And there's no digital ecosystem or no software industry in Italy. So if they stop working for Spreaker and they move to a city, then they have to move somewhere else and find another job. While here, they just turn the corner and there's plenty of other software startups to work for. Oh. So we're a bunch of Italians working in Berlin.
That's really great, though, to have that consideration for the people working with you.
Yeah, really, it is.
Well, they wouldn't have come if we had stayed in Italy. So that was the easiest way to get a lot of people speaking the same language, talented and smart, to come aboard and join us.
Wow, that's smart. That's cool. We have the final listener question here, and it's by our listener. He's John Rainey. He listens to our shows all the time. It's another avid listener. And his question is, what's your bank account number? That's definitely John Rainey for you. We'll give you that to you off air, John. I'm sure he'll share that with you. Yeah. That's why we love John. We're going to have John on the show one of these days. I know it. He's fun. But that, it brings me to the last couple of questions I wanted to ask you is if there's anything you can tell us about the future of Spreaker. I mean, do you have any plans or do you have any goals that you would love to see Spreaker do?
Oh, of course.
I mean, that you can talk about, especially. I mean, if there's anything that we can't hear, don't tell us. But
the thing I can share is that everyone I've seen that we've changed the branding, we've changed logo and colors, and of course we're doing this for a purpose. I mean, I really like the old branding, but it didn't fit our new positioning. And we want to become a more broader talent platform. So not only for voice talents, but also for music talents. We want to fact is, we know we have a great sound platform in the back end, which can do a lot of amazing stuff. We're just trying to repackage the product so that people are more aware of what they can do with Spreaker. And in the next few weeks, it will show.
That's great. Yeah, and that's why I try and tell as many people as I can about Spreaker, because there's a lot more than you can do than just, I mean, I host a show. I mean, that's obvious, but there's, you can go on there and you can do political stuff, you can do health stuff, you can play music. There really should be no limit to it, and I want people to know that. So I'm excited for that to happen, for more people to realize the potential of Spreaker itself. The last thing I wanted to ask you is if you would be able to tell us a little bit about Map2App, because I was reading that you're an advisor to this new app called Map2App.
Yeah, it's a company of a friend of mine. We actually were neighbors in the office where I had my previous company, and we stayed friends. And he moved on to create this platform, which allows anyone to create a map-based mobile application, like a tourist application or a guide, or even apps which actually have nothing to do with tourism but are location specific. You can create them with a few clicks online and just publish them on iOS, Android, and they also support all Java-based phones, and they're going to support Windows Mobile, a lot of different platforms for a very reasonable price. I think they're in the couple hundreds of dollars or so. You can have an application through the three major platforms published on the App Store, and I think this is going to be revolutionary. And I accepted to be one of their advisors, and that's pretty much.
I think it's a really great idea. I was reading about it the other day, and you're kind of using the letting the user again, create things and help out with that. And when you said it's going to be, a couple $100, people might think that's a lot, but the company that I work for, in the publication company, that we had to buy an app, a specific app, and make our own for the magazine, and it was not cheap. It was really expensive. So, for that cheap amount, that's going to be great.
I think you can also do apps for free on their platform, but they will be publishing them and it will be branded. So you're not going to make any money out of it. But let's say that you're a festival organizer or a local council or anything, and you need to do an app quickly. You have all the information and the data, but you lack the programming skills. Well, you can put someone there, put everything together, come out with a beautiful app, and publish it with a couple of $100. I think that's a really good price.
I actually recommended that to one of my students last week after reading about it. They needed something that was exactly what you guys are offering, and I thought that was really cool because we were struggling on a solution for that. I can't really talk about what he's doing,
right?
But no, it's really cool that Justin sent me the link to that, and I realized, well, it's just spot on to exactly what they needed.
Yeah, there you go. Already got somebody using it. Why not?
Awesome, great. I have to tell my friends so that I get my commission. Huh?
Yeah, there you go.
And you get yours. Yeah.
Yeah, you can send the check to Alan.
I get to teach him how to use it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Francesco, it's been fantastic talking to you. This has been very, very enlightening and inspiring. I'm sure for a lot of people it was for me. Maybe we'll have to have you on the show again some other time when we talk about your next venture, whatever that's going to be. But I do appreciate you being on the show. I hope you had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I loved it. I had a lot of fun.
Great. I know that you don't do a lot of interviews. I looked all over the internet to try and find interviews for you, and I think I found 3. So there's not a lot of interviews with you out there, so I definitely appreciate you coming on the show.
That was my pleasure, really my pleasure. I'm very happy I decided to do this because I had a very fun night.
Oh, that's good.
Cool.
And you kind of get to experience, what the users get to experience as well. So that's good.
Yes, it's always very interesting and to be able to talk in this, relaxed environment with our users.
Yeah, I'm
it's
sure
it's not that relaxed most of the time.
I was going to say, I'm sure you're talking business all the time, and it's good to just kick back and talk. Well, everybody, that is our show for today. Go ahead and head over to geekcreations.com, and we'll put a recap on the website there and some links to Spreaker. You can check out what we talked about in summary and things like that. Make sure and head over to thedigitalcraft.com if you need to get some private sessions from Alan for anything digital, web design, graphic design. He pretty much teaches it all. That's just how he is. So, again, thank you everybody for listening, and we'll see you again next week on Live Speak with Justin the Geek.
You've been listening to Live Speak with Justin the Geek. Every Sunday at 2 p.m., Justin brings you amazing courses on udemy.com and amazing guests and great conversation. Miss an episode? No problem. Go to www.geekcreations.com and click on the episode to listen. And join us next week for another episode of Live Speak with Justin the Geek.